Hello and welcome to this video, Kinetic Energy 2, for GCSE Physics and Combined Physics. Kinetic energy depends on the velocity and the mass of a moving object. The faster the object, the greater the kinetic energy, and the larger the mass, the greater the kinetic energy. The relationship between these variables is as follows, and it's one that you will have to remember for the exam. Kinetic energy equals 0.5 times the mass times the velocity squared, or EK equals a half mv squared. The units for kinetic energy are the joule. For mass, it is kilograms, and the velocity is in meters per second. A car of mass 2,000 kilograms is travelling at 40 meters per second. Calculate the energy in the kinetic store. Our equation is kinetic energy equals 0.5 times the mass times the velocity squared. Once we have the equation, the next thing is to substitute the numbers from the question into the equation. So EK equals 0.5 times 2,000 times 40, which is our velocity, but we must square that. And that gives us EK equals 0.5 times 2,000 times 1,600. And when we use our calculators, that gives us a final answer of 1,600,000 joules. In standard form, that's 1.6 times 10 to the 6 joules. A toy plane with a kinetic energy store of 0.37 joules is travelling at a velocity of 6 meters per second. Calculate the mass of the toy plane. We need our equation, which is kinetic energy equals 0.5 times the mass times the velocity squared. And once we have our equation, the next thing we do is substitute our numbers from the question into the equation. And that gives us 0.37 equals 0.5 times the mass times 6 squared. Now our mass is our unknown, so we need to rearrange the equation to make mass the subject. And to do that, we need to divide through by 0.5 and by 6 squared. When we've done that, we can cancel, and that gives us 0.37 divided by bracket 0.5 times 6 squared bracket. And that will give us our answer, which is m, and our calculators will tell us that this is 0.02 kilograms. A cyclist with a kinetic energy store of 1,440 joules is moving along a road. If the cyclist and bike have a total mass of 80 kilograms, calculate the velocity of the cyclist. First, we need our equation, which is kinetic energy equals 0.5 times the mass times the velocity squared. And once we have our equation, the next thing we need to do is substitute the numbers from the question into the equation. And that gives us 1,440 equals 0.5 times 80 times v squared. Velocity is our unknown, so we first need to rearrange our equation to make v squared the subject, and that means we need to divide through by 0.5 and by 80. Once we've cancelled, that gives us 1,440 divided by brackets 0.5 times 80 close brackets. And this gives us v squared, which is 36. But v squared is not our final answer. We still need v. So what we need to do now is the opposite of squared, which is a square root. So we need to take the square root of 36, which gives us v, which gives us 6 meters per second. And that's everything for this video. Thank you so much for listening.